Well, the good news is that NIST doesn't just highlight the risks, they also provide some guidance on how to manage them.
Oh, good, because I was starting to get a bit pessimistic there.
I know, it can be overwhelming. But there are things we can do, and that's what we'll be exploring in the next part of our deep dive.
So let's talk solutions. Where do we even start with managing all these risks?
Well, NIST emphasizes that it all starts with good governance. Setting clear rules and guidelines for developing and using these generative AI systems.
Okay, that makes sense. So, like, establishing a set of ground rules right from the get-go.
Exactly. And a big part of that is being transparent about how the AI is being used, especially when it comes to data privacy and potential bias.
Transparency is huge, especially with AI, I think. People need to know what's going on behind the scenes.
Absolutely. NIST talks about providing an AI ingredients list, so to speak. Like, what data was used to train it? What are its limitations?
It's like a nutrition label for AI.
Exactly. And that helps build trust, both with the people using the AI and with the public as a whole. And another crucial part of governance that NIST stresses is incident disclosure.
Incident disclosure, you mean like if something goes wrong?
Exactly. It's about having a plan in place for when AI systems misbehave, like if they generate harmful content or make a biased decision. How do you address it?
So it's like a safety protocol, just in case.
Yep. It's about planning for the unexpected. Things are bound to go wrong at some point, and it's important to be prepared.
Makes sense. Better to be safe than sorry.
Absolutely. And it's not just about fixing the immediate problem either. It's also about learning from these incidents and updating policies to prevent similar issues in the future.
So it's a continuous improvement process?
Exactly. Now, let's move on to another key recommendation from NIST, which is pre-deployment testing.
Okay, so this is about testing the AI thoroughly before releasing it into the wild.
Precisely. We can't just assume that an AI system will work as intended. We need to put it through its paces and make sure it can handle a wide range of scenarios.
I guess that makes sense. Like, you wouldn't just launch a new car without testing it first, right?
Exactly. You want to make sure it's safe and reliable before letting people drive it. And when it comes to AI testing, you also need to consider potential misuse cases.
Oh, interesting. So you're not just testing what the AI is supposed to do, but also how it could be abused or exploited?
Exactly. It's about thinking like the bad guys and trying to find those vulnerabilities before they do. And NIST also recommends involving a diverse group of testers in this process.
Are diverse in what way?
Well, you want to include people with different areas of expertise, different backgrounds, different perspectives.
I can see why that's important. You want to make sure the AI is being evaluated from all angles.
Right. And NIST takes this idea of feedback even further with their recommendation for what they call structured public feedback. It's about getting input from a much wider range of people, not just the developers and engineers.
So like everyday users and people from different fields?
Exactly. It's about getting a more comprehensive understanding of how an AI system might impact the real world and how people might interact with it in ways we haven't even anticipated.
That's pretty cool. So how do they suggest getting this feedback?
Well, they recommend using a variety of methods like focus groups, surveys, and even something called AI red teaming.
AI red teaming? That sounds intense. What is that?
It's basically where you have people intentionally try to break the AI to find its weaknesses and vulnerabilities.
So you're basically pitting human ingenuity against artificial intelligence. That's awesome.
It is kind of awesome, and it can be incredibly valuable. It helps identify potential biases, security flaws, or any other unintended consequences that might not be apparent in traditional testing.
It's like a stress test for the AI.